Good afternoon, my Stampin' friends. This is Sunday Stamp with Susan. I'm Susan Carlson, an independent Stampin' Up consultant, demonstrator, and I am here to show you some things to do with stamps, inks, and paper. Our May host code, you'll see right here, HR2EGEYK, and www.susancarlson.stampinup.net, and that's where you would go to order. My May special is place a $50 order using my host code, and I will refund you your shipping costs. So let's get started. We're still learning things about our new annual catalog. And just so you don't forget, we've got just a few days to enjoy everything from our January to June catalog. There's a lot of good things left in here. Some of my favorites are the tulips with the windmill. I think I demonstrated some of that. Another favorite of mine was, let me find it, the hedgehogs. They are fun. Just trying to look at some of these. Easter friends, they're gone now. I mean, it's past Easter, but they're cute. So the rain boots, flowering rain boots bundle. So I've done some cards, some online, some offline. And today we are going to be concentrating on the Abigail Rose bundle. Suite, sorry. Angela, thanks for joining me. I'm going to need some help in a little while, so I'm glad there's somebody here. The Abigail Rose stamp set and dies really intrigued me the first time I saw them. I just love this set. So what I'm going to do today is share making this card, and you're going to help me make some decisions. So that's the card we're going to be working with. And hopefully I don't have to reach too far to get the things I need. So the stamp set has some good sentiments, best wishes. You could make a wedding card. There's happy birthday, you're positively the greatest, friends forever, feel better soon, and some delicate lined, and it's going to be fab. Some delicate lined stamps. I believe that this is a triple stamp, and then you can cut out the whole bunch of them. You could cut out just these if you made those. You could do these flowers. You could stamp all over the place. We're not going to do that today. I may try that on my own later, see what I come up with. But we are going to be accomplishing this right here. Let me bring that up again for you to see. Okay, it's stamps, ink, and paper, and a new ribbon that came with that set. It's a natural finish ribbon, but you can stamp on it. So we're going to try that today. I'm going to need your help as I go through this for some colors. But first I want to show you the paper. And I just want to check. No, that would not cut that out. Nope. But we're going to find something that it will cut out. So here is first paper. It's the colors that go with this. Let me find what I did with that. You can use basic black, crumb cake, early espresso, petal pink, smoky slate, and very vanilla. So it's not actually a white. So here's the first one, and the opposite side is tiny little blossoms in a basic gray. Then we've got a really all over pattern that you could cut and then perhaps color in some of these flowers. The other side is an early espresso with some crumb cake, a nice combination. Then we've got, I guess this is early espresso on crumb cake. It's got a little bit of a textured finish to the background. And then there's a slight gray. What was the color I said? Let me look. Smoky slate. Smoky slate is what we're looking at there. Here are some blooms that you can, I believe, let me look. If you can cut those out individually. I can't see that you can. And here's like an old-fashioned ledger. And this is actually what we're going to be using as our background today. So I'm going to set that aside over here. Here's another one with early espresso and some random writing in the back. The petal pink in a stripe. It's the B side. Then we've got this put together, let me see. I'm still looking for this sample that this will cut out. No, I'm still not finding it. Nope. Okay, well, we may have to stamp and cut our own. And then the opposite side of that is a smoky slate. It's kind of, actually your eye, because it's variegated across the paper, your eye kind of looks at it like it's a pearlized paper, but it's really not. So those are the beautiful papers that come with it. And we're going to be using this for our card as we copy. I think that this is the stamp that we're going to be using, because I do have a die that will cut that, and I'm placing it on a E block. Hi, Lori. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Alicia, or Angela, the papers are beautiful. And this will be what we use to cut this out. And this will fit in our mini Stampin' Emboss. Okay, and I'm not sure. Yes, that's the one I want. Okay, first I'm going to take a piece of this is our very vanilla cardstock, and I've cut it into a 4 by 5 1/4, so this will fit our card. This will turn it over to begin with. And because this is a cling stamp, it's already got its own cushioning, so we don't need to put a piercing mat underneath it. And I am going to stamp this in, if I can get it around here, in the smoky slate, so that it will be kind of a gentle background. And I'm doing this off camera, and I don't mean to do that. Just tap, 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 and then always check, and let's see what we've got here. Now I'm going to be cutting this out. I'm going to place it. And there we've got a nice stamped image. I'm going to close this up because I don't need it right now. And next thing I'm going to do is color this in. And because I did not use the memento, I'm going to use the, not our alcohol markers, our regular markers. I think I want to go find our Petal pink first. And these have two ends. We have a brush tip and we have a fine tip. So, and I'm just going to color in here where it's got some striations on the blossoms, on the petals, so that I'm not coloring in the whole thing. And it doesn't matter, there are no lines to follow, just the representation. So just have to flick it like that, and you don't need to press real hard with this. A lighter touch is better. You can see that I'm just giving it a little bit of color. Oops, I almost went onto a leaf. I don't want to do that. Okay, I think that'll just about do it. Oh, maybe I want a little bit in here. There. Okay, so trying to decide, and I need you people that are here to help me. Do I want to do the soft succulent, or do I want to do garden green? Which one do you think would make a better background? So I'll wait a minute for the votes to come in. Garden green or soft succulent? And you can just put garden or soft. And I'm going to use the garden green to liven up these leaves a little bit. So vote. Okay, Angela, you say garden. Lori, what do you say, garden or soft? Now this looks a little heavy on the leaves. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Garden, okay, we're going with garden. Now it may look like I'm royally messing this up, but I'm going to show you something. So, I've got blender pens, and I'm just going to give this, these are filled with water, and I'm just going to give this a little nudge. You don't want to color too much with this because this is not watercolor paper. You know, I'm not liking these leaves so much. At all. They are too hard. Okay, we're gonna turn this over. It's a good thing paper has two sides. We're gonna turn this over and stamp it again because I'm gonna do something different with it. This is what happens when you kind of fly by the seat of your pants instead of planning before. Now, sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. Two sides to every coin as well, yes. Hey Jennifer, thanks for joining us. Checking in from the car. You and Howard have been out for lunch, I see. Okay, this didn't do what I wanted it to do, but now it's going to. I'm going to take some of this ink and spread it here. And you can see I can blend it, and I can blend it out to make it very fine so that I'll just get a little bit of color on there, which is what I want. Much better. And I've got my hand in ink. Got to wipe it off. Well, I can tell this is just going to be a day. See this? That's what got on the side of that, so. And you can't let that go. So, got more of these cut. Stamp it again. Sometimes we want to let the darker colors sit on there for a bit. And we've still got that nice light print. So let's get back to, now that I've got my hand cleaned off. And I'm going with a much lighter touch. I hope the rest of the card turns out gorgeous because I'm really still not liking these leaves. But I need to get a little color on there. Okay. Okay, that's all I need of that. Wipe this brush off. And I'm going to use the other end to see if I can smooth it out and make it softer. Looks like I can a little bit. Still not what I had hoped for, but this is a blender pen, and it's used to blend color that's been recently stamped. The sooner the better. Okay, well that's going to have to do for now. Okay, so we'll put the blender pen away. Usually use your water pen, Stampin' Right markers, yeah. Okay, and now we'll go back to our petal pink. And this seemed to want to take care of the colors a little bit better, and I'm sorry you have to watch this twice. The Stampin' Right markers are for using with other inks. The Stampin' blends are for using with the Memento Tuxedo Black. They are alcohol pens and will run if you use them on a card like this with regular stamps. Okay, now we're going to pull up one of our machines. Got our plates, and then our mini boss. Call this the mini because that's just what it is. Okay, has a very small footprint. The flaps fold up. Whoops, let me get that out of the way. The stamps fold up. And then we've got two plates. Well, we've got a base. That's number 1. Then we put in a number 2. I'm going to trim this because it won't fit this way. There, that's good. And then we want to get this placed on here exactly right. And I want a little piece of washi tape to hold it in place so it doesn't scoot around on us. There we go, that should do it. Whoops. And then we're going to put the other plate on top. And then we're going to send it through. And I'm sorry, I'm probably shaking. And then I'm going to bring it back through. I always do that, just to be thorough. Fold this back up and get it out of the way. And let's see what we've got here. Okay. So there we've got our flower. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this paper. We're going to do a landscape sort. So we want this to be five and a quarter. And this trimmer is a great tool. It's got centimeters and inches, and I've used washi tape to cover up the centimeters so that I don't get confused. Then we're going to cut this, whoops, going to cut this at 4. So we've got a piece of 4 by 5 and a quarter. Now I'm going to cut, we voted on this. Going to cut this. First we're going to score it at 4 and a quarter. The lighter gray is the scoring. The darker gray is the cutting. And we're scoring it at 4 and a quarter and cutting it at 5 and a half. So now we've got our background and our card base. Going to fold on that score line and then burnish it with our bone folder. And I'm going to put this on using my seal. And that's all it will take to hold it. And then we've got that centered on the card as best we can. Now, I want to put this, well, we're going to do something with this ribbon. You can stamp on this ribbon. So I'm going to choose, I think we've got a flower here, or a leaf. And since this is the last Sunday, I'll be using this, this paper here. And I think we're going to try the Memento ink for this. And I also think I'm going to do this. So I'm going to want at least enough to go across the page. Well, I've just got ink on my hand again. This is just not my day. I'm going to get my scissors for my ribbon scissors. Got them tied with a ribbon so that I know and everybody else knows not to use them. Cut both sides at a diagonal so that it doesn't fray. And now we're going to try this. Never done this, and I'm doing it for the first time on camera. Look at that, it really does work. Then I want to come in from another angle. Yay, isn't that neat that you can stamp on it? You could stamp a sentiment on it. I'm sure that would look nice. But I just need it back here. Kind of want it to go, I need bigger scissors. For my sewing scissors. Okay, so we're going to kind of change the layout for this card. And I'm going to put some seal on the back of it. And now I'm frayed. I do like that garden green, for those of you who voted. Then I'm going to take this. I don't like the way that ribbon turned out, so I'll redo this. Because I do send out the card with, I do a random pick of the people that have commented. So the more you say, the better your chances are. And I'm putting dimensionals on the back of this to pop it up, give it some interest. I get a little carried away with these sometimes, but I like it to be, you know, all around. Then you just peel these little backings off, throw them away. And we're going to add this on right here. And then I want to take a little piece, and I hope I've got one handy, a little piece of that pink pastel pink. I'm not sure if I've got a piece out or if I'm going to have to go searching. Sorry about that. We're going to make this a happy birthday card. And we're going to do that in black. The tuxedo black memento. It's the same color as the blossoms. See how nicely that matches? Okay. Happy birthday. Just want to cut off a little, see how much I put on that side, 1/4 of an inch. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is cut the corners on the diagonal, just snipping a little bit off on both sides. And then, shall we put it, I need your help again. Shall we put it on the bottom left, the upper right, and tuck it under the flower? Bottom left or upper right? Let me see a show of votes. Here tucked under or here popped up? Bottom left, Angela. Okay. Anybody else? Counting votes. We've got a vote for bottom left. Bottom, Lori, okay. How about you, Jennifer? Are you still on with us? Well, that's 2 out of 3, so that's what we're gonna go with. Just gonna run a little seal on there and put, oh, you want it tucked under. Okay, yes, I can do that. I think that looks good. Tucked under. There you go. Tucked under. Now I've got one more thing I want to do, and this is just something that I've got here. Let's see where it went. I've got some linen thread that will match the ribbon, and I'm just going to tie a bow and even it out. I'm going to tuck right there. And I'm going to use one of our mini glue dots. Oops, I didn't quite get it off of there. Oh my goodness. It doesn't want to come off the tape today for some reason. Okay, so we're going to tuck that right there under the top edge of the floral. So there is our card for today. I am going to make a new one for the to send out to you because I don't like the way this is frayed unless I can figure out a way to fix that. So maybe I can. But this is a very nice feminine happy birthday for anybody having a summer birthday. And I'm happy to share one of my favorite sweets from the new catalog, Abigail Rose. For $73.50 you get the stamps and the dies and the paper and the ribbon. So it's a good value, one number to remember, and I'll be showing you more things from the new catalog. Don't forget to check out our January to June that's expiring next week, and then we'll be back with new ones for you. Have a good rest of your Sunday, Stampin' Friends. See you next week.